Okay, let's kick things off. We saw something pretty wild unfold this week.
Yeah, definitely caught my eye. A major tech stock took a significant tumble.
And it looks like it's directly tied to, well, a very public political spat. High levels.
You got it. The main players here, everyone's talking about them. Elon Musk, CEO of Tesla, naturally, and President Donald Trump.
Right. So our goal here in this deep dive, and we're working from a CNBC article published just this past Thursday, June 5th, 2025.
Very recent piece.
Exactly. We want to sort of piece together what sparked this whole conflict.
Understand the bill at the heart of it all.
Yeah, the specific spending bill, see how the market reacted right away, and put it in the bigger picture. Tesla, Musk, the administration, their relationship.
It's more than just headlines, right? We're trying to connect these personal, political dynamics.
Yeah.
See how they hit the real world, the market.
And the first sign of that real-world impact, according to the article, is right there in the stock price. Tesla shares, they fell pretty sharply, down 9% just on Thursday.
Wow, 9% in one day. That's a big move.
Yeah, and if you look at the whole week, the shares are actually down 12%.
Mm-hmm. And that lines up with Musk getting more vocal about this bill.
It does. And context matters, too. The stock's already down, over 20% this year, since that high back in December.
Right, so this drop fits a pattern, but this week's dive seems directly linked to this specific fight.
So the trigger. What exactly set off this sharp drop this week? The article points straight to those public comments, the barbs traded between Musk and Trump.
Over this particular spending bill working its way through Congress.
And President Trump himself weighed in.
He did. The source says he spoke from the Oval Office on Thursday, and he suggested Musk was upset because EV credits weren't in the bill.
Ah, the electric vehicle incentives.
Exactly. Trump apparently even said, Elon and I had a great relationship. I don't know if we will anymore.
Whoa, okay. That's quite personal. He also said he was surprised.
Yeah, surprised by Musk's reaction. But Musk, well, he didn't exactly stay quiet.
Doesn't sound like it.
No. The article says his immediate response, reportedly as Trump was speaking, was just one word.
Whatever.
Slight pause. Whatever. Okay. But I'm guessing he had more to say than that.
Oh, definitely. He went on to X, his platform, and made a pretty big claim.
What was it?
He posted, and I'm quoting roughly here, "Without me, Trump would have lost the election. Dems would control the House, and the Republicans would be 51-49 in the Senate."
Wow. Okay. That's a huge claim to make publicly.
It really is, and it shows how strongly he feels about this bill. The article mentions he apparently called it a disgusting abomination.
Strong language. And he didn't stop there, right? Didn't he threaten lawmakers?
Yeah, threaten primary challenges against anyone who votes for it. The source calls this a significant shift in how he's talked about the administration before.
A real change in tone then.
Yeah.
So let's get specific about the bill itself. Why is he so against it? What's in it that affects Tesla or his interests directly? Well, the article says, reporting from NBC News, saying Musk had actually been trying to get Trump and other Republicans to change parts of it.
Okay, trying to lobby them. On what points?
The main things were measures that would cut back or curtail EV tax credits.
Those incentives for buyers?
Right. And also residential solar tax credits, for homeowners installing solar panels.
And the article connects this directly to Tesla's bottom line, doesn't it?
It does. It flat out says these credits generate profits for Tesla.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's a clear financial stake here. It's not just about policy preference.
Makes sense. Anything else in the bill he opposed?
Yes. Apparently, the measure would also bring in a new $250 annual fee just for EV drivers.
So fewer incentives on one end and a new cost on the other. A double whammy, sort of.
Pretty much sums it up.
And the timing of this whole thing blowing up. It's interesting, too, isn't it? The article points out this spat happened right after Musk's stint hitting that government efficiency department, DOG, just ended.
Yeah, that Department of Government Efficiency role wrapped up the Friday before this all kicked off.
Which itself followed a pretty good month for Tesla stock in May, right? A 22% rally.
That's right, a solid rally in May, even though the reports mentioned weak sales numbers around that time. It seems this political fight just completely overshadowed any positive momentum from May.
To maybe understand Musk's intensity here, the article brings in Walter Isaacson, his biographer. What insight did he offer?
Isaacson told CNBC, and this is interesting, that Musk is not exactly calibrated in these things.
Meaning?
Suggesting his reactions can be, well, extreme. He also said Musk is seriously upset and, quote, when he goes all in, he goes all in.
So very passionate, very forceful when he feels strongly.
That's the picture Isaacson paints. Deeply invested and reacts hard.
Isaacson also mentioned something else, another point of friction for Musk recently, something about NASA.
Ah, yes. The Jared Isaacman nomination. That adds another layer.
Okay, tell us about that.
Isaacson suggested Musk was pretty annoyed with some people in the administration who he felt worked against Isaacman getting the top job at NASA.
Annoyed! The article used stronger language, didn't it? Infuriated.
Right, infuriating was the word. Musk apparently believed they were targeting Isaacman specifically to get at Musk.
Okay, so perceived proxy attacks, and Isaacman's nomination was pulled just before the spat erupted.
Over the weekend, yeah. Right before things boiled over between Musk and Trump.
And the connection there is Isaacman's link to SpaceX.
Exactly. He led those private SpaceX flights, Inspiration 4 in 2021, and there's another plan. Plus, his company, Shift 4, had invested quite a bit in SpaceX.
So it suggests Musk's anger might be multifaceted, not just the bill's financial impact, but maybe also these perceived personal slights or attacks on his network.
It certainly complicates the narrative, makes it seem less purely transactional about the EV credits.
Good point. Now, it's easy to get caught up in the drama between these two figures.
It is big personalities.
But the article also brings us back to earth a bit. Reminds us Tesla is facing other challenges too. More fundamental problems, it says.
That's crucial context. It mentions things like plummeting sales of their EVs in key European markets.
And issues with brand reputation.
Yeah, a declining brand reputation in the West. Those are serious business headwinds, regardless of this political fight.
And then there's the whole robo-taxi situation. Huge pressure there.
Huge. Tesla's reportedly pushing to finally launch its driverless ride-hailing service in Austin this month. It's been long delayed.
And they're not alone in Austin, are they?
Not at all. The article points out that Waymo, a major competitor, is already up and running there. They have a big commercial service going with Uber.
So intense competitive pressure on top of everything else.
Definitely adds to the pressure cooker situation for Tesla right now.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this up. We've got a spending bill targeting EV and solar credits, adding fees for EV drivers.
Things that directly hit Tesla's business model and customers.
Which then triggers this very public, very dramatic clash between Elon Musk and President Trump.
Two massive global figures going head-to-head.
And we see an immediate sharp drop in Tesla's stock price, directly linked to this spat.
A clear market reaction. But all this is happening while Tesla is also dealing with fundamental issues.
Right, like falling sales in Europe, brand challenges,
and facing intense pressure in the race to launch its robo-taxi service against established competitors.
It really paints a picture of how policy decisions, personal relationships, or maybe the breakdown of those relationships and market volatility are all tangled together.
Absolutely. It started with a bill, but quickly became about personality, politics, and it had immediate financial fallout for a huge company. This deep dive really highlights that connection.
It does, and maybe that leaves a final thought for you listening.
Yeah, something to chew on. How much can these high-level personal conflicts, these public disagreements between powerful people, really steer the ship for major global companies that affect their strategy and bottom line? What does this particular incident show us about how policy